What is up, guys? It is me, Real American Politics, back again with the State of the Day or Future of Blank series. Of course, before we start this video, hope you guys enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash a like down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes. So today, folks, I think it's quite obvious. The State of the Day. This is the most important state for the future of the Republican Party, if we're going to survive as a party. Texas. Good old Texas. Now, before we start this video, hope you guys enjoy these type of videos. Smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, follow me on my alt tech, follow me on my Twitter. So, point is this. Texas is the state of the day. Intriguing things are happening about Texas that the election mafia, that election Twitter, that MS fake news do not want to tell you about. There's a lot of shifts happening in the state of Texas. Now, before we talk about the elephant of the room, about the state of Texas, I want to focus on the Dallas area, the Houston area, and even the San Antonio area. Because there are some misconceptions about places like Tarrant, places like Harris County even. Folks, let me just say one thing about the county GOPs in places like Tarrant, Harris, Fort Bend, and even Bexar. They are some of the most incompetent hacks you will ever see in your life. They are useless. They just give up to the Democrats 24/7. They're just like, okay, oh, it's fine. We'll just give this up. We'll just give up. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. We're just gonna give it up to the Democrats, and we're not gonna, like Trump, we're gonna purposely slander his name, and we're gonna screw him over. Yeah, you heard that. Point is this. Texas has a lot of incompetent GOP counties. Especially in Bexar, Tarrant, Harris, Fort Bend. Not so much in the southern part of the state, but we'll get to that eventually. The point is this. You want to know what the demographics of Tarrant County is? You may think it's like only 20% working class or something like that. Well, this surprised me. Tarrant's only 32% not working class. That means it's 68% working class. In Dallas County, 68.5% of working class voters are in Dallas. Or 68.5% of Dallas voters are working class voters. I'm not yes, places like Dallas County, they're usually a bit more socially liberal. But they're still economically populist. I mean, the fact you only have 33.5% in Dallas, folks, with those demographics, you should be at least getting just even 36% will do. If you just get 36% of the vote there, which is very plausible with so many working class voters, you can save this state without relying on certain trends we're about to talk about. But even Tarrant County, which is the bellwether of the state, 68% working class. You're telling me Trump can't win that. And by the way, with Tarrant County, neither got a majority. They got a plurality, Biden did. But let's say in 2024 that the independents that's magically all swung to Biden decided to swing somewhat to Trump. Folks, Tarrant County flips immediately. Now, I'm not denying there's parts of the Dallas area that you should worry about. Denton County. Only 55% working class, which is similar to Waukesha. Denton, I'm a little bit saying that's going to kind of be the peak. Still a fairly working class suburb. I mean, 55%. That should mean Trump should be fine, or Republicans should be fine if they get good messaging, get a good healthcare plan. It could be kind of like Waukesha in my future Wisconsin video. But Colin, though, we should talk about. It's only 48% working class. That is not good. even if you get a strong healthcare plan, it's gonna flip. It's gonna eventually flip. But I think if Republicans stop the bleeding by pushing for a healthcare plan, just trying to maximize working class votes, or even if you get every bachelor's degree voter to vote for Biden, if you just still get a great majority of working class voters, you still crack 45%, Collin County. The point is this. There's a lot of votes we made up in the Dallas area because, again, these are not your traditional, these are working class voters around the Dallas area. Now, again, they're a bit more socially liberal, but still, healthcare plan, just like Waukesha, in my opinion, will help alleviate some of the pains of the suburbs. And promoting more school choice, promoting all this other stuff. But there's one city in particular that I want to focus on. The Harris area. 31.5% of Harris is not working class. 68.5%. Trump only had 43% of the vote here. This is a more conservative part of Texas. This is a more socially conservative part of Texas. The fact they only got 43%, and again, that's mostly because the freaking suburbs just do not trust Trump at all. I think some of them are starting to regret it, but I do think that promoting school choice and just hammering it in Houston, Fort Bend, Brazilla, Galveston, even Chambers can run up the vote totals in the Houston area. And again, push for some kind of healthcare plan will alleviate some of the struggles a little bit in Fort Bend. You got Bexar County. Same story, 72% working class. Trump only had 40%. A lot of these places, you just need a healthcare plan. And you alleviate so much of that struggle. Now, we finally get to the elephant in the room. Southern Texas and Eastern Texas, or far west Texas. This was the surprise of the election. I'd say a lot bigger than the one in Miami-Dade. I thought Miami-Dade was going to swing. Not as big as it did. It was a swing a decent margin. But what Trump did in southern Texas and far western Texas was smash what was very considered a blue wall of sorts. And he has just broken through. He just opened the floodgates. And this wasn't a fluke either, folks. There are so many elections, mayor elections on the border for Texas, especially the southern half of the state. Republicans or conservative candidates are just flooding the mayor candidates. They're just winning. They just keep on winning. And this is a good sign to Republicans. If they could keep up these southern trends, a lot of the fears in the Dallas area are somewhat alleviated. Because you get, they may not be the biggest counties, but you can still get a lot of votes. Especially in places that only have 22% now working class voters in newest county. And plus, with Houston area starting to turn the table, it did in this election, it trended Republican even. I do think that overall, Southern Texas will become something similar to Eastern Texas, where it's like a blue-collar, working-class part of the state that votes heavy Republican. If Republicans don't botch this, and if Trump decides to run, which pretty much for certain. But folks, he almost flipped. He flipped a county that has been Republican in 100 years. This tells me that this isn't a fluke. And with all of the southern elections we're seeing, I don't see Texas being Democrat for a while. And with the current national environment, with how Biden is imploding in his presidency, his approval rating starting to sink. In the real polls, by the way, not the bullshit Marist polls that poll 90% Democrat. No, I'm talking about even Civics is showing that he's underwater. He's just collapsed in New Mexico even. So what is my final verdict on the state of Texas? If Trump decides to run or any Republican, I think it's likely Republican. Borderline safe. If Republicans get a good healthcare plan, it moves to safe probably. But Texas right now, I do believe, is likely Republican state. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, smash a like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.